When people invest, it's always with the intention to make money and not losing it. However, you can't always pick only the winners, and sometimes it would be beneficial to realize capital losses on investments so you can defer future taxes and increase your bottom line when the market recovers. My name is Koby and I'm an investment advisor. If you're new to my channel, I focus on helping Canadians smartly invest their money, safely build wealth while paying fewer taxes. In today's video, I will tell you everything you need to know about tax loss harvesting and how you can take advantage of it. So let's jump right in. Tax loss harvesting is a technique for realizing or crystallizing capital losses in your non-registered accounts so they can be used to offset taxable capital gains. And just to be clear, this strategy would benefit you only if used in a non-registered account. It has zero impact if used in a TFSA or an RRSP. To explain the tax loss harvesting, let's use an example and say you decide to buy $10,000 worth of Vanguard Growth Index Fund ETF ticker VUG, and a month later its value drops down to $9,000. By selling the shares, you can crystallize the loss and use it to offset $1,000 of capital gains on a different security in your portfolio, which will allow you to grow your money and defer taxes for longer. Now, some of you might ask, what's the point in doing that when the most basic rule of investing is to buy low and sell high? Yes, this is true, but it's almost impossible to pick winners 100% of the time. From time to time, a security you choose might go down in value even if it's just temporary. At that point, you want to take advantage of that by selling it, crystallizing the losses so you can offset them against other capital gains. This year, 3 years backwards, or indefinitely into the future. Now, if you're thinking, great, let's say I bought Amazon shares and the stock goes down for some reason. I still believe Amazon is a solid company and it still has long-term growth potential. Why don't I just sell it, realize the loss, and then buy it right back to make sure I don't lose any of the upward swing? Well, by doing so, CRA would consider your loss as a superficial loss and you will not be able to offset it against capital gains. In order for you to be able to use the loss, you need to make sure that A, you or a person affiliated with you, usually a spouse, common law partner, or a corporation held by either of you, cannot buy or have the right to buy the same or identical property during the period starting 30 calendar days before the sale and ending 30 calendar days after the sale. And B, still owns or has the right to buy the same or identical property 30 calendar days after the sale. In Part A of this rule, the period spans 61 days, the settlement date of the sale plus 30 calendar days before and the 30 calendar days after the settlement date. Now, Part B might sound redundant, but what it actually means is that you can technically buy the identical security anytime during the 61-day period, but you must ensure you don't still own it by the end of that period, and if you do, the loss will be denied and added back to the adjusted cost base of the identical security. The good news is that if you're an ETF investor, by following the technique in this video, you can systematically harvest capital losses, maintain exposure to all the asset classes in your portfolio, and comply with the CRA rule by using similar but slightly different securities. Now, one more thing to add. CRA released a bulletin in 2001 stating that two index funds tracking the same benchmark are considered identical property. This means that, for example, you cannot sell the iShares Core S&P TSX Cap Composite Index ETF with ticker symbol XIC and replace it with the BMO S&P TSX Cap Composite Index ETF ticker symbol ZCN, as they both track the S&P TSX Cap Composite Index. Now, even though this rule would make it a bit more challenging and requires more time researching, it is possible to find pairs of ETFs with a similar asset class but track different indexes. One example, if you hold the Vanguard FTSE Canada OCAP Index ETF with ticker symbol VCN, you can replace it with the Franklin FTSE Canada OCAP Index ETF with ticker symbol FLCD. Although their names may sound similar, VCN tracks the FTSE Canada All Cap Index, while FLCD tracks a slightly different index, the FTSE Canada All Cap Domestic Index. So by selling your existing ETF and repurchasing a similar but not identical property, you can realize a capital loss and still maintain similar asset class exposure in your portfolio. Another example would be if you hold the iShares Core S&P US Total Market Index ETF with ticker symbol XUU for your US equity exposure. You can sell it and replace it with the Vanguard US Total Market Index ETF with ticker symbol VUN. A third example, this time on the international equity side, you can pair the iShares Core MSCI IFI IMI Index ETF with ticker symbol XEF and the Vanguard FTSE Developed All Cap X North America Index ETF with ticker symbol VIU. One thing to keep in mind is that since these ETFs do not track the exact same index, there might be a slight difference in the rate of return at the end of the 30-day period. This would matter in case your plan is to move back to the original sold ETF after the waiting period. However, if you properly select your pair, the difference should be very minimal. That's it for today's video. I hope you found it valuable, and if you haven't done that already, make sure to hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos just like this one, don't forget to subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know below. I read and reply to every single one. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on my next video.